on that, we have no business even being alive, breathing in and out.
Yeah, so you think what TriMet did was so egregious that nobody could lose, really?
Exactly, and that's precisely the point. See, TriMet could not bring it was so egregious that they were going to have to lose that stuff. They could not bring that stuff back up in this arbitration, so they were sitting there kind of going, we don't know what to say. And that's what John Hunt was crowing about during the meeting. He said, well, our attorney, the hearings officer kept turning to our attorney asking for points of law, and kept telling the TriMet attorney, well, that's bullshit, you can't introduce that, I'm not going to consider that, that's outside the bounds of consideration, you can't submit that, and shutting them down every time well, of course, because there was nothing else they could do, because they acted so stupidly the first time.
Yeah, well...
But that just points up that, see, it really is true, this is a living proof example of the contention by liberal left-wingers that us liberals are smarter than conservatives. The Oregonian is like the deep thinker part of the conservative coalition in Oregon. And as smart as they are, they were the ones that botched this whole thing up by politically pressuring TriMet management to do this 2 years ago when they froze our contract. And so they jumped, and they're not understanding what they're doing. The idiot Brian Playfair, yep, right there they go.
Brian Playfair jumped ship.
Well, no, because they did what they were told. I mean, they cracked the whip, and so TriMet jumped.
Are you telling...
That was a totally self-defeating.
Are you saying that the Oregonian somehow had...
Don't you remember the editorials of the Oregonian?
Yeah, I remember them.
Before they froze the contract, before they broke the contract, and they froze our COLA and made us start paying. They've got to get those costs under control. They're bleeding to death. No. Oh, bullshit. We know that the TriMet board has got at least $23 million hidden away. They got caught on that at the last TriMet board meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
The city of Portland is sitting on $120 million. Okay. All these public agencies have got tons and tons of money. They're as rich as Croesus. It pains me as much as it's saying it, but that Antichrist John Charles is actually correct. He says TriMet is awash in money. Ridership has never been higher. Costs have never been lower in terms of per rider person, except for the West. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fare evasion is at an all-time low. And fares are the highest they've ever been. They have to be rolling in money. And they are.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit it.
Well, no.
They're going to lie their ass off about it.
How are they going to break the union if they admit that?
Well, that's the point. They're still going to try to do that. That's why they brought that Stedman puke on board.
Yeah.
He's right about that. But, I mean, even a blind pig can find an acorn. I mean, yeah. Stedman's a swine bucket. That's a given. Because, see, that's exactly what... tomorrow I'm going to start picking the Oregonian.
Are you going to be down there?
Yeah, I got to get somebody to come along in case they send a thug out to beat me up.
What time you going?
But it was just... it took everybody completely by blindsided. The leadership assesses their own members so that they bring charges against their own union to repay their political cronies. That's exactly what this is all about. And these guys need to be totally repudiated by anybody that's ever paid 1 penny in dues. Because they've totally squandered it. Represent any chance to be truly a union member and to stick up for people.
Yeah. Well, if I were going to...
Shelley or Sandy was telling me that Heitzman's real sharp and won 2 of her arbitrations for her. And, out of 200 arbitrations, they're going to cherry pick the easiest ones, and then they're going to come in and they're going to bedazzle you with their brilliant legal...
Well, I
would think that they, But here's the thing: they're going to be strong with the retirees because the retirees they're scared. I mean, that's by definition they're scared, and these guys are familiar with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Look what we've gotten for you. Well, Jesus Christ, like I said, Jack the Ripper could have gotten that given the stupidity of the TriMet administration. And God damn, I mean, when your smartest guy in the room is the guy from the Oregonian who's got a drinking problem and is addicted to blowjobs from the princes of the Southwest Hills, and he tells you to do something, and you okay, go ahead and do that, and that's exactly what happened. Of course you're going to do stupid things. I mean, God.
It's interesting.
These guys are just, First thing you're going to say is, but you've never filed agreements, and I will say yes, but I'm smart enough to send in the paperwork when I do file agreements. Unlike you, Mr. Hunt, who brought us our fancy little SIP policy, which is totally illegal, against the law, but violates the contract, and he's never even filed agreements on that, for Christ's sake. And they got master pieces of endless numbers of SIPs for people doing their jobs, and the company's trying to persecute them because some sociopathic malcontent decided they would complain about it. You know, some guy who won't take his kid out of the baby carriage and so it endangers his own child, he's going to complain about it. So then somebody gets a SIP for that? I mean, come on. I mean, some adults need to be in the room and get TriMet changed around on this stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, John Hunt has had his time to tell, and look what we have gotten. You know, lurching from crisis to crisis continuously. Crisis leadership. He came back and assessed us and did not unassess us. As far as I know, we're still paying in our dues to pay for his first disastrous experiment in trying to sue our own union on behalf of his good friend Ron Heinzman. And now they're back. These same two guys wanting to do an action just like Obama says about Romney. Well, here's the Republicans. They've run the economy into the ditch, and now they want you to give them the keys to the car one more time, and they're going to fix it this time. Yeah, the definition of textbook insanity is continuing self-defeating behavior while expecting successful results. And here we go again. Have we been here before and seen this movie before? This is deja vu all over again, one more time. And he made the mistake of saying he wants a spirited campaign. I'm going to give him a spirited campaign. This is unbelievable. You would think that, you know, given that they don't understand the gravity of the situation nationwide. I mean, you know, there's a tape of Ron Heinzman being interviewed saying, oh, well, we're under attack nationwide. And they call him the president, international president of ATV now. He never was. He lost that election.
Yeah, I know.
In any case, you know, they really don't get it. You know, I mean, they'll give lip service to the fact that, yeah, the corporations have been after labor unions ever since Ronald Reagan was in, actually. And now it's gotten more and more intense because of the Citizens United and the corporations being allowed to basically do whatever they want and turn into medieval robber barons of capitalism. They get to squash any individual that gets in their way. You know, so yeah, that's a given. But what these people really don't understand is that this is real flesh and blood people they're talking about. Their idiotic decisions and their stupidity and their lack of real union work are as much responsible for the death of Dale Arnold as the bad working conditions at TriMet that caused it and contributed to it. Operator Dale Arnold died on the job working at the Rose Quarter Transit Center, I should say, February 19th, of work-aggravated cardiovascular disease. And that's an affliction that covers way too many people here that work in this transit system. And the company has admitted, you know, Alan Morgan said yes, you know, he's talked to Neil McFarland about, gee, we should do something in the training about, you know, healthy lifestyles, and it might, you know, gee, maybe we should, and gosh, would it be a nice idea if, well, I'll tell you what, how about if we had decent working conditions? That might be something that would improve it. And how about if they stop routinely just throwing every suggestion from the union out to better our working conditions? It's, oh, we can't afford it, or this cannot be implemented.
Yeah.
How about they start doing that? These are not unknowns. The jury has been back on this stuff for a long time. The kind of working conditions that we have are worse for you than smoking. And they know that. And what have they done to change that? Well, they've made it worse. They've cut the run times. They've made the schedules tighter. They've reduced service. They've exposed the operators to more and more risk all the time. Good old Bruce. Got to support Bruce Hansen, man. He's there like a brick. He's dependable. He's not a crazy. He's not going to be bringing his uncle in to run as a surrogate candidate for something. He's not that nuts, you know. I mean, he's going to be available. To me, he's looking better and better all the time. This is like running, you know, Abraham Lincoln against some war dealer from the Chicago alderman's district. You know, I mean, how could anybody have even a question about that?